these are just ideas that have been popping into my head. Now, I'm a fairly young 21 years old. Well, I live in central New York, a place where, sure, most people don't think about it per se, but I mean, the ecological history is fascinating. You take a look at old photographs from the 1800s, and sturgeon were stacked like firewood. Then you other photos showed that in the 1800s, trees easily could be probably the size of the width of this foundation of the bridge, you know? And I mean, it's a shame. I mean, my 50-year-old dad recalls around this time of night, so dusk-ish, you could walk through a meadow like that one over there, and hundreds of, fireflies and grasshoppers would just jump. But thing is the environmental impact of all these things mankind has been doing has silenced that picture of God, where the nature is silent. I mean, can't say I didn't enjoy it. I mean, there's pictures where there's all the time pictures of sturgeon 6 feet long, stacked like firewood. To put that into perspective, 6 feet long would be about, hang on, the size of roughly the distance from that tile over there in the water to this rock on the shore. Which, I'm sorry, but damn. I mean, a sturgeon that size has got to be a couple hundred years old, at least. And I mean, not that I'm like, by any means, an eco-warrior, because I'm not. I'm just a kid. But I remember looking at an old family photograph, of my namesake, back down in the 1970s. Bear in mind, he was a guy born in 1917. Just a generic, small town. I grew up in Pennsylvania guy. And both hands held snapping turtles that were easily 100 years old. This was back in the 1970s. So, that would suggest that they were probably from like the 1800s, which, okay, I mean, doesn't sound odd until you think about it. And wow, I mean, it wasn't even like a pond known for producing huge, ancient snapping turtles. It's just small town pond in the middle of the state, And for a guy who had no specialized training, none of that, to be able to pick two snapping turtles from the 1800s up in mid-20th century America. Wow. I mean, holy fuck. I mean, I in case you don't know me, I live in a small town in central New York, where downtown has has the sixth, so in the top 10 largest oak tree, like the sixth largest oak tree of New York, which, wow, I mean, it's a matter of fact. Like, you could pull up pictures from like Google and it will show this tree. And it isn't even like in the middle of nowhere. It's just downtown, right by some church. Pretty fucking wild, if you ask me. Then there's that, like, what was it, 700 year old, I want to say, white pine tree that has been verified by Cornell, real Ivy League, as being older than the founding of the United States of America. And what's crazy is it's just a tree in the middle of, like, not even like a state park, just like a research woodland area called Hoxie Gorge. If you're local, it's on one of those hills, and probably because of, back in the olden days, it was a pain in the ass to go in there and go to those raw hills, log these 700 year old trees. And I mean, everybody knows that oak trees are basically, they're toast in New York. They're toast in the US pretty much, period. But I mean, to think that the sixth largest living one is still around, and it isn't even like protected, just mind-boggling, I guess. I mean, I'm not by any means an expert, but when the blight came through, it took out a lot of trees. I mean, these days, the woods around here are a lot different than, say, your middle-aged folks would recall. I mean, for my generation, the 20-year-olds, it's maple trees, beech, and birch as the predominant trees. For, like, my parents, who are in their 50s, it was, not sure. I mean, probably, I want to say, oak and walnut, maybe, I don't know. And my grandma, who's in her 60s, she grew up when chestnuts were around, which, again, really decimated by the blight. But what could we do? I mean, a lot of the trees around here are getting ill. I mean, I know that aspen, which is a small, like, aspen trees, have a blight, some sort of disease as well. And I mean, aspen, like, they're not particularly large as trees. I mean, not like they're like white pine, black cherries, or whatever, that live to be 700, 800, 900 years old. But wow, I mean, like, I know my childhood home had a roughly 40, 50 year old sugar maple tree that was actually sick of some kind. I don't know what, but yeah, it's done. Like, the trees, the ecosystem is changing, and we need to learn to accept that fact.